Good morning, everybody. It's Miss T. I hope everyone slept well and woke up this morning in a good mood and ready for the day. I hope that you spend a little time reading scripture or saying a prayer. I, if you did, you will have a good day. Your day will be better. I just wanted to talk, I guess, about whatever pops in my mind. The what I thought about yesterday is men and women are still debating about a woman can't raise a man, and that debate should just be out the window because they are raising men. I guess the argument is they will raise them uh, a little feminine or not strong, and I don't believe that's true either. Um, I raised he's only 16, but I teach him things that I believe will help him through life: respect, self pride, um, to learn as much as you possibly can, and then some. Don't settle. Don't just do it to get by, just to get there, just to pass. And I also teach him how to treat a woman, how to be able to take care of himself if he's, in his own apartment. My son is 16 years old and cooks better than me, and that's not an exaggeration. He knows how to do laundry, clean the house, everything. But the main reason why I taught him how to treat a woman is because I was in fear. Sometimes your children, it's the environment that they're in that they get their how they act from, but I believe sometimes it's their genes, and his father was not very nice to women. And so I wanted to teach him the opposite. Yeah, sometimes he doesn't like it. I teach him to open doors for women. When he's going to school, I tell him to let the girls get on first, and he was fighting me on that. But now it's just natural for him. I had him, and I guess teaching him at an early age, it affected me because he would run home, Mom, I need you to go and pick up a present for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day or for her birthday or whatever. And I would go do it. And so I would ask, how did you give it to her? He said, yeah, I put it in her locker. I didn't tell him to do that, but and I guess the little girl was so amazed, or so, I don't know what these kids, that she cried, and I don't know. I just thought that was just nice. I just want him to be a good person and to treat people with respect, and to not let anyone disrespect him, just to be as good as he, be the best at what you can be. My grandmother always told me, whatever you do, try to be the best at it, and it doesn't mean try to outdo everyone. You do it to the best. You don't just, like I said, okay, I made it here, and this is all they're asking of me, and so I'm going to stop. No, you do your best, and it's not for them, it's for you, because you knew you had it in you in the first place. And if someone tells you, we just want you to get to the point where, we just want you to do enough, that's because you don't want me to go to me, in my mind, is because you either don't believe in me or you don't want me to succeed. So that's my logic, that I go beyond what I push myself beyond what's expected of me. But I was looking at, because this rap music, it has gotten us, a lot of people unalive. It's gotten, I believe, women are looked at as nasty and disgusting and all kinds of things. But men, they contradict themselves. You put all these things out in the world, and you're worried about a mother who carried their child for 9 months, not raising your son right, but you're not worried about your daughter. I don't know if you just think automatically they're going to be okay. But first of all, who is the woman that you had kids with? We don't even do it the right way anymore, because that wait till marriage thing is out the window. Dating is out the window, because now you can go on social media, talk to somebody who might not be who somebody is, get somebody off of social media, start talking to them, don't know what went on in their life or what they're doing now. It's just like fast food, just everything's so fast, and then you start dating this person, and then you accidentally get pregnant, or and then you find out that she's been in prison or whatever, or used to be a dancer. You found out he has 8 other baby mamas, and it's just, this is what the world is now. But I seen a picture, and someone please tell me, and I noticed that, I don't know, I'm not going to say that, but please tell me that these men, from rappers to football players or basketball players, that are going around wearing skirts, skirts, purses, half tops, this is a joke, or dare. I seen the other day, and I want to get the baby right, because I don't want to put it on the wrong baby, because there's so many. But it's not the short guy, the short dark guy. It's the skinny brown skin guy, and I think his name is Baby. I don't think he has anything in front of his name. I think the short guy is Little Baby. But why I seen this man, and he was photographed with a cutoff shirt, or crop top, and I believe it was either mini shorts or a mini skirt. Can someone explain this to me? Because is this his way of coming out, or because he's not the only one that I seen LeBron James in a dress or a skirt or whatever. I'm not understanding and before I go any further with that, maybe I need some understanding. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's either they're being disrespectful or showing that you can be a man, and I don't get it. But you're worried about women raising men. I watch men walk around with their fingernails painted, and not to say that that's only for a woman, but it used to be. I don't know what Now, I understand if they're black, they're supposed to be goth or whatever. But why are men changing? Why does it seem like the roles are reversing or changing? Women are dressed as men and act like men. You wouldn't know the difference. Men are acting like women, and now they have the whole, I guess the whole era is now I want to be myself I want to be myself plus be the person that I'm not, but I wish that I was, because they'll have a full beard, makeup on, high heel. I don't get it. I believe when the Bible told us that this world is lawless and just evil, and what it's going to become. They weren't. It was not. It wasn't a joke. I have never seen in my life so many things that have changed and are different and are accepted. That people accept this. Like if you don't, I want my child to feel comfortable and be their self. So your child has decided at the age of 5 that he is really a girl, and so you dress him in girl's clothes, and then you let him get an operation to change himself to a she. At 5, they've understood this. The devil he rules the roost. That's all I'm saying. He comes in and he destroys families. He confuses families. So I'm assuming if the husband or the father says absolutely not, you're not going to change my son into a woman, and the mother says this is what he wants, and it just causes turmoil and dysfunction in the house, and other things come in, and it's just. There was a story about a family, a husband and wife, who were swingers, and that's where you have parties, and then I assume you bring your spouse with you or whatever, and you have parties, and then you switch partners, or switch spouses or whatever. And so they started off in the bar, and then they continued the party at their house. Lived in a nice, affluent neighborhood. Well, the next day they woke up and realized that their daughter was missing. I think she was 5. So while they were switching partners downstairs, their neighbor had broken into their house upstairs and took their daughter, drove her out into the desert, did horrible things to her. And the reason why they know this man was just a monster. She's 5 years old. They found her 4 front teeth. She had swallowed those. That means she was still alive. This man, we're giving the devil too much. When you're doing something wrong, they have to live with for the rest of their life that they were so wrapped up in some kind of sinful act, some kind of ritual, that they couldn't even protect their own child. Because maybe when you want to have your whatever, who says your daughter doesn't wake up and want some water and comes downstairs? Maybe, that kind of stuff shouldn't, be around. Your family. If you read the autobiography, let me say I don't think she agreed, but some of the stuff I assume was found out or other people were talking about, and that's Aretha Franklin, considered one of the best singers of all time. But if you go back and listen or read or understand what happened to her in her childhood, you could wonder how she was able, and maybe it was because they did say she drank a lot, how they let this go on. Her mother passed away, I think, when she was 10, and she was devastated, but she was already living with her father and her grandmother anyways. How her father, who was a pastor, had orgies in their house, and kids were Aretha Franklin got pregnant at 12, and no one asked who the father was. No one ever seen the father. No one ever seen her with a boyfriend, and so nothing was questioned. She got pregnant again at 14. Come to find out, there was, and some of these people, well, most of these people were stars. Her father had a big following. He preached for, he was friends with Martin Luther King, and they had all these stars around them. So she was being exploited by famous people, but it was pushed under the rug. And no telling, I'm not going to say that she didn't have a good life, because she became a star, and but like I said, all money is not good money. But just what we allow the devil to come in and do. Most of the stories when you hear about kids being abused or whatever, there's a mother in the home, but she doesn't do anything for fear of her being, for the father doing something to her, if she even said anything. He is the king of his castle, even though she knows it's wrong. Her daughter is going through agony and being abused daily, and to know that this man that is supposed to love you is being a sick, and you can't do anything, or you think you can't do anything because you're afraid. Or we give an excuse for people who have bad behavior. Oh, people say when they get drunk, some people use things so they can say what they want to say, and say, I didn't mean that, I was drunk, I was high, I was, whatever. But we give excuses. And not to say that sometimes people act out because of whatever happened to them in their childhood. But if things aren't right, mothers, you need to protect your daughters and your sons. There's the story about Naziah Harris, who's still missing. They don't know if she's still alive. It's a bizarre story. Her aunt's boyfriend was molesting her, and she became pregnant. Now they think he unalived her because he didn't want her to have the baby, and they would know it was his. He had already been in prison for molesting kids. But the aunt thought it was a good idea to date him and then have 5 kids of her own with him, bring him into the house and let him cause turmoil and to everybody's life included. I pray that if the little girl is gone, that she went. I don't know. It's a bizarre story. If she's still alive, that she's somewhere being taken care of. I don't know. Why do we give people, we allow them to do horrible things and give excuses? The daughter, they were telling on him. He's touching, he's bothering. They even made a police report. But they continue to let him come to the house and do what he does, do whatever he wants to. Is that just, sometimes women allow men to do just to say they have a man? That's my dog is down there barking. Just to be in a relationship because they don't feel that they're lovable, like that somebody wouldn't just love them because of them. So we go find we just find a man. Doesn't matter that you found him at the halfway house. And I'm not saying anybody can change. I'm not saying that. This is just what I'm given a scenario. Or, he's on the bus and there's nothing wrong with taking the bus, but, he's on the bus going to his parole officer and you see him and he's halfway decent or whatever. You guys get to talking and then, he says all the right things. He's looking for a place to stay or someone who's willing to take care of him, because he really doesn't have any, they're getting ready to put him in a housing and then he won't get to be outside past a certain time. And so they look for the vulnerable women who, I'm not going to say, because I never would say that a woman is unattractive. I believe God created everyone the same. I believe women are as beautiful as they are as beautiful as anyone else. They just allow society to get into their brain, tell them that they're not, and that lowers their self-esteem. And so they feel if in order to be, they're going to have to lower their standards. Because I surely wouldn't want a man. I'm on a date and he tells me he just got out of prison for molesting kids. The date is over. There's nothing else to talk about other than don't call me or whatever. Because I believe when you do that, it doesn't go away. Those are deep-seated obsessions. And you touched a child and they're going to be traumatized for the rest of their life, no telling which way their life will go. There's nothing else to talk about. Or you tell me I just got out of prison and I unalived my last wife, and you continue the date and you start dating him because he's rehabilitated. Sometimes we just put our own selves. We just create a bad life for ourselves. He told me that she made him mad, and he tried to walk away, and he just snapped. But when they found her, she was decapitated. That sounds a little bit more than snap. That sounds like that was something that he was curious about. People don't just wake up and do crazy things. But we'll make an excuse. There was a serial killer. His name is I just had his name. But they just now found him because, they used to, when they did profiling, they used to say that all serial killers were middle-aged white men. So, of course, they're not looking for the black ones because there isn't any. I guess that's why he got to unalive 95 women. And his name still isn't that big. But he was able to tell you each person's name and draw a picture of her from what she had on to the earrings or bracelet or whatever she was wearing to the place he left her. And he believes that he started doing, or the childhood that he had is why he started to do this. His mother was a kid, I think she was 13, 12 when she had him, and she left him on the side of the road in the rain. And someone found him and, took him in, took care of him. So at that point, he had a pretty good life. And then when he became grown, he found his mother, had a relationship with her, but it wasn't they were having, but that's when you're an adult. So how are you going to blame your childhood? Anyhow, so again, they will say that these women that he's, attacking and unaliving, they remind him of his mother. Even though they are all different nationalities and, just random women, I guess just because they're women, they remind him of his mother. And that those kind of people don't look crazy, don't look like monsters. They can look like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was very attractive, and that's how he got women to help him. He would put on a cast or say something, and they would be willing to help him, and that's how he was able to do what he did. And we have to live our lives like, sad to say, like there's a boogeyman around each corner or right outside the door, because these people, this is what I say, but during COVID, when COVID was here, people wouldn't come over your house before they called. That's still my motto. I'll let you knock on my door. If I didn't invite you over here, you don't get in. So you better say, or especially we're here to take a survey. You better survey yourself. Why are you people still trying to come to strangers' doors and not like people are going to open their doors for you? Just because you said you're here to take a survey, what does that mean? Put it in the mail. You have to keep a straight head, because these monsters are getting more clever. It's sad. I used to be the one, if I see somebody on the side of the road with their hood up, I would try to help. You can't do that anymore. Even if you see it's a woman and a child, the man might be hiding down. It's just sad that you can't be a caring human being. Now, one time I did just say, did you need for me to call someone for you? It was a woman. And I did call using my phone. I dialed the number and told her that this so-and-so, your whatever, is stuck on such and such street, and she needs you to come. Okay, goodbye. I hope you get, you just can't. And it's unfortunate because there's people out there that really do need help. But because of the monsters perpetrating as people, you can't have that, you can't be nice, or you can't help people as like you want to. Ladies, men, there are people out there who have caught diseases. I'm not going to say, diseases. I'm just going to leave that, diseases. And they are purposely spreading them on because they have, because they're angry, because someone gave it to them. And so they're going to give it to as many people as possible. So you can't, if you plan on being in a relationship, you need to add that to the list. You need to go together, get tested. If they refuse, then that's not going to be, there's no need to continue dating or trying to start a relationship. There's questions you have to ask. There's things you have to do. You can't just, and it seems like that's not happening, because there's still women getting pregnant by people that they hardly know or that they just met. Women, you might be dating a man and, because nowadays they call them DLs, and they're sleeping with men and women. And you don't know that. So they're coming home to you and potentially, putting your life in danger because of something that they're choosing, their selfishness. They're choosing to do that, not you. Men, women are going out behind your back and messing with other men, and they might, I don't know. There's just all kinds of stuff. He might feel like, he needs to get you out the way so he can have her by himself. Or you might see this man driving your car and you get upset and you guys get in a fight and one of you now end up not here. Ladies, if you are co-parenting and your child is coming home and telling you things that a child really shouldn't know, or really be able to express that, don't just overlook it like I don't know how anybody could overlook a child saying my dad's touching me and she's 3 or 2 years old. You protect your child with all of your might. I suggest taking her to the emergency room right away and getting the ball rolling, because you can't just send your child back just because you have a girls' weekend. You paid for the tickets, and you guys are going to Jamaica, and you can't get a refund. So you're going to have to decide if that trip is more important than your daughter, because you're going to send her back to the place where she said she's being touched. And I would really like to say a woman wouldn't do that, but I can't. You know, some women's like, I'm tired, I need a break too. I need to do, at the expense of your child. That you would put your child in harm's way for a girls' weekend. These are some things that you should just really think about. Put in your head that, because these things that I'm saying are true stories, and the adults weren't making the right decisions that really didn't have, that shouldn't have been decisions. They should have been, just, this is what I'm going to do. You shouldn't have to choose if you're going on the trip and endangering your child. You shouldn't have to choose that. Let's have common sense. Don't put, if it doesn't look right, it doesn't talk right, it doesn't smell right, you have to investigate. You're going to turn your back just like nothing ever happened? Ladies, if you're dating a man who is whose job is in pharmaceuticals, how can I put this one? And he lives with you. Now, you're obviously not stopping him from doing that because he's living with you. But hold him accountable. Don't let him just be all over the dining room table, the living room table, all over the house, so that your 4-year-old child can think something looks like candy and swallow it. And you're scared to take them to the emergency room because you're afraid they're going to do something, put him in jail, or so you make her go sleep it off. And when you try to wake her up, she doesn't wake up. Are we giving our kids a chance? This world is so evil. Evil, evil, evil. If you're going to make a decision, you made a decision to allow that to happen in your house, but she paid the ultimate price. She didn't ask to have that happen. She didn't ask that this careless person, on top of doing something illegal in the house, your kids could get taken away. He wasn't even careful enough to even protect your children. And so now you have to think about your child every once in a while and what happened to her. Men, if you're picking up your daughter, your son, whatever, at on the weekends, and they come over and there's unexplainable bruises even every time they get dropped off, do you just accept that? I seen a story. This man, they were a young couple, and he was supposed to come pick up his son because his son was 6 months old. And she kept calling and saying, you need to come get him because, I'm trying to have a break. So you need to come get him. And he was planning on coming and get him. He was running a little late. So when he finally got there, his 6-month-old son was sitting outside on her porch, and his face was all beat up. And he was moaning in pain. Do you take your son and then give him back to his mother? You shouldn't, because you should go straight to the emergency room. You got proof because you were videotaping it. That this woman was so frustrated that you weren't there to pick up your 6-month-old baby on time that she beat him. And these are the people that, so she didn't show any signs. These people didn't show any signs of being the way they were before you decided to have a child with them. Fellas, you need to make sure that the baby that you're taking care of, or that you decided to put, before you decide to put your name on the birth certificate, you need to find out if it's yours or not. Too bad if you offend someone. If you have a feeling that you were not the only person, you have the right to ask. I think that should be mandatory. Period. That's the most hurtful thing, that a man is raising a child and he's doing a good job and he's loving that child, and come to find out that it's not his. And now he has to make a decision. Because I know a man that has feelings for a child he's been raising for 8 years, he can't just walk away from the child. But the hurt and the deception that he feels, it's just not good at all. We had a story lately in the papers. Man and wife, they have 3 kids. I think one child had some type of ailment that they needed to test everybody in the family to see if they were a match for whatever procedure that they were going to do. And the husband wasn't the father of any of the kids. 3. And then he went up to his wife's job, shot her 10 times. These are the stories that you can read. These things are happening today, tomorrow. This is what's going on. This is life now. People don't have any compassion or sympathy. People don't have loyalty. Brothers used to be, friends used to be, we're like brothers, and ain't nothing going to stop that. But you decide when your brother goes to jail that you're going to mess with his baby mama while he's in there. And why? When there's plenty of women out there, why do you choose to be with the woman that, of the friend that has been friends with you since elementary, who's sitting in jail because they took your charges? And this is the loyalty that you choose. You have to be, there's good people out there, but you have to treat everyone, and unfortunately, you have to be skeptical. You have to be You have to find out first. You can't just go in it. You can't just jump into something head first. It's almost like, those get rich quick schemes, or you can't just jump into something. You have to examine. You have to investigate. You have to find out, because this is your life. This is something that's going to possibly affect you for the rest of your life. You could be dating a woman and not know she has a husband because she's not telling you, and you're innocently not knowing, but the man has the right to come and do something to you because you're messing with his wife. Because yes, women have become just as worse as men. Yeah, they have. And I feel for everybody. I'm glad I don't have to. I'm not gonna say I don't. I've taken myself out of the dating scene. I have friends I might talk to or whatever, but I don't want to be trying to figure out and investigate and decide all that. It's too much stress. I have other things in my life that make me happy. Instead of putting what men want women to do is put their whole life, like make them their whole world. They don't want them to have anything outside of them, because then it's possible that the woman will go out in the world and find out that you're not worth a nickel. And so same for women. Women come up with schemes and scams, and let's tell them we're going to have a threesome, and then we'll just put Visine in his drink. They don't know how many drops to put in there. Shouldn't be putting any. But there they go, taking, jeopardizing your life because you have a few dollars and some flashy jewelry, instead of them going to get a job and making a hard earning their money by doing hard work. Nobody wants to work. Who wants to work? We want easy money fast. I need it right now. I can't wait for a paycheck. And then they take out who's FICA. And why do I have to pay for health insurance? And why am I paying for retirement? And what is all this? Somebody tell me if that's true. I heard Trump was taking away taxes. I'm not sure. I hear all kinds of stories because I don't go look and see what's going on in the world today, because I don't want to hear it. Trump is juggling. He said, now I got to keep all parties happy. And he's really trying to work with the minorities, because it seems like they were the ones that actually got him back in there. He said, I'm going to let some out of jail. I'm going to lower some taxes, but I'm going to take away. But really, he can't really do a lot without and people don't like him. So some of those things aren't going to pass. But yeah, he's trying. What's the new one that who's he trying to put in jail? Is it Obama? He's trying everything. I think he's trying to stop you can only do so many terms. Because is this his last term? I don't know. It is just, and if I didn't know the Lord, I would be scared right now. I would live in fear. I would be scared to go outside. I would be scared to do anything. But because I know what God has said, what He has promised, He said, if you follow me, I will protect you. If you do this, and I believe it, so I just live my life. If it's my turn to go, or I don't say turn. People say that if it's my time to go. How do we know it wasn't your time? God doesn't sit up and say it's time for you. It's your turn. I believe the devil gives you. God can't interfere. I can't think right now. Interfere with the sin that's going on in the world. So it's not that he's saying it's time for you to go. You went and he couldn't stop it. So that's why maybe you should always be ready. You should always be sure that that when he comes and opens your eyes again where you're going. He can't intervene. Because I believe he wouldn't. He'd be like, I know, because she's right there. She's just not got it right all the way. So I'm gonna give her That's what he's doing now. He's telling you, get your life right. Here's what the word is. I'm telling you what the signs are right before I come, so you can see the signs. And it would probably, either you're like, the Bible is true, and these things said it was going to happen, and maybe you'll turn and try to read it and get the word and live right, and then get saved. He's doing everything basically for you to be saved. He's putting it all right there in front of you for you to be saved. So I don't believe he says, oh, she's not getting it. She's just going to. I believe that sin, the devil, he wants to believe you're not ready. Catch you right before you decide you're going to get ready. And God can't stop it. And you'll say, why can't God? Because that is the order. This is what he's put out every exact thing that you need to do to live your life right, to be saved. Do you then want him to live your life for you? Or do you then want him to keep you alive till you're 205 so you can get it right? I don't know what we're waiting for in the first place. What's so wonderful out here that it's better than ensuring that you'll live forever in heaven? What's so wonderful out here? Really? Bills, bill collectors, bad weather, car breakdown, people in your family being unalived and you have to grieve over your baby being. What is so wonderful out here? that is keeping you out there and you do not want to be saved. I don't know. But that's a decision that you'll have to make for yourself. That's something you'll have to decide. No one can decide it for you. I pray that whatever has a hold on you, that it can release you, that you can be released from it, and decide that this earth, this world is not worth dying, having an eternal death where you could be somewhere just living you'll never die, you'll never have pain, you'll never have anything that you had to endure here again. You'll have never work, never grow old, never anything, but just be happy. There's nothing but to be happy. I promise you, all I want you to do is just today start praying and ask God what to pray for. Tell God, talk to him. He already knows what's going on. He already knows what's wrong. He's just waiting for you to come. Just keep doing that no matter what. Just every day get up and pray. Tell God that, what's going on in your life, what you're in fear of, and what's happening, and how are you don't know how you're going to do this, and you don't know how you're going to come up with the money for your light bill. Just do all that. Just do that. And see if he will not work in your life. But you have to be sincere. You have to truly believe. You can't just say, I'm just going to do that so I can tell her it didn't happen. How come my lights didn't get... You have to really believe. God said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, that means he's not even asking you to totally believe it's going to happen. You just have to have faith as small as a mustard seed. A mustard seed is very, very, very small. But just start there. When God starts doing miracles, and starts doing things in your life, and you're at that point where you're sitting there with your eyes and your mouth wide open like, then try something else. Start reading the Word. Then try something else. I'm not telling you have to join a church. I believe that I go to my old church every once in a while so that I can see, I guess, my friends, or people that believe like me or whatever. I go for that. But God says where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there he will be also. So that would be a decision up to you if you want to find a church or not. That's just what I decided. Because I don't want anyone to interfere with my salvation. I don't want to go to church, step my foot in the door, and hear somebody say something negative so that I can forget where I'm at or what I was supposed to do and try to, and fight the devil in church. So, yeah. Well, that's all that I have. Whatever I said, I wasn't trying to offend anyone. I just can't. I hope you understand. I can't sugarcoat anything. I can't make it sound better than what it is. I have to tell it, and I'm talking to me too. So I basically, like I said, if you're thinking I'm talking to you, I wouldn't know who you are. So please don't blame me. I'm just giving the message. I'm just doing what I was told to do. Yes, told to do. I didn't make it up. I didn't say I'm just going to get on here and start telling people stuff of my just for a joke to see. No. God did change my life for the better. And in return, I'm doing what He has asked me to do. And that is to tell everyone else that there's no way but Him. There's no other way. There's nobody else. So that you can get it right too. So that He can come into your life. Because I can't make you stop doing whatever you're doing and turn to God. I can't do any of those things. I can just only tell you how I feel, what He's done for me, and then God will do the rest. And that's all He asked me to do. So I hope everyone has a blessed week. I ask that you just consider praying. Just consider reading a couple verses. Go to Psalms to get uplifted. If you want to test out some of the things, not test, but if you want to see some of the things that are happening now that were foretold back then, you can read Revelations. You can get the book of Enoch. It tells you everything that will happen. It doesn't say at the end these things be right before. It's telling you what things are happening and why they're happening, who's where, what angels do what angels disobey God and are here on earth. Tells you all that. So until the next time, everyone have a blessed day.